Welcome back, everybody. We're continuing our systems of linear equations, and today we're going to talk about using elimination, as well as enjoying our little snowfall here. So the steps to using elimination, please pause the video and take down these steps. All right, let's give these a try. Our first step is to make sure that our x's, our y's, our equals, and then our constants are all lined up, which is all set and good here. Then we're taking a look. If I were to add this together, is there one of our two variables that would add to 0? And they would. The y's would. So 3x plus 3x is 6x. Negative 2 plus 2 adds to 0. And then 4 plus negative 4 also adds to 0. Well, now I can solve for x. The opposite of multiplying x by 6 is dividing x by 6. 0 divided by 6 is 0. So we have the first part of our solution at 0. Now we're going back to one of our first two equations. It doesn't matter if we use the top or the bottom. And we have to solve for y. I'm going to use the top one. And remember, we found x to be 0, so we plug in 0 for the x value. 3 times 0 is 0. 0 plus anything is 0. The opposite of multiplying y by 2 is dividing y by 2. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. So our solution to this system is 0, 2. Let's take a look at number 2. We again check to make sure. My x's, my y's, my equal signs, and my constants, are they all in the same spot? Yes. Now, if I were to add these together, is something going to add to 0? Yeah, these x's. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. 3 plus negative 1 is 2y. And 4 plus negative 8 is negative 4. We can finish solving for y. The opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2 on both sides. And so we get y is equal to negative 2. We can put this back into either the top or the bottom equation. Doesn't matter. I'm going to stick it in that bottom one. 2x minus y, which is negative 2, is equal to negative 8. Minus negative 2 is really adding 2. To work to get x alone, the opposite of adding 2 is subtracting 2 from each side. We have 2x. That adds to 0 is equal to negative 10. The opposite of multiplying x by 2 is dividing by 2. And we get x is equal to negative 5. So our final answer, negative 5, negative 2. For example 3, we're again checking. Do I have my x's, my y's, and my constants all lined up? Yes, we do. If I were to add these two together, would anything add to 0 for x or y? And the answer to that is no. So we decide, do we want to get rid of x first or y first? It doesn't really matter, but I see that we have the positive y here and the negative y here. So if I were to multiply all of the top by 2, I can probably get the y's to eliminate. So I'm multiplying all three parts to get negative 20x plus 6y is equal to 2. It's vitally important that you make sure that you take that 2 to all 3 parts, not just the first 2. So when I add these together, -5 plus -20 is -25x. -6y plus 6y adds to 0. And 23 plus 2 is 25. The opposite of multiplying x by -25 is dividing both sides by -25, and we get x is equal to -1. So I can take that and plug it either into the top or the bottom equation for the original one. This isn't really going to matter. It's going to work either way. So I'll use the top one, -10 times -1 plus 3y is equal to 1. -10 times -1 is +10. We start getting y alone by moving the 10. The opposite of a +10 is -10 or subtracting, so that adds to 0. We get 3y is equal to -9. The opposite of multiplying y by 3 is dividing by 3. Those reduce to 1. -9 divided by 3 is -3. So we get y is equal to -3. That makes the solution to number 3, -1, -3. Number 4. We're again checking. X's are lined up, Y's are lined up, constants are lined up. So if I add these together right now, will any of them add to 0? Unfortunately not. Again, it doesn't matter if we want to get rid of the x's or the y's. If we wanted to get rid of the y's, we would multiply the top by 5 and the bottom by 2. If we want to get rid of the x's, we multiply the top only by 2 because that would be 6x, and then these would add to 0. Remember, when you're multiplying, you multiply all parts of the equation by that value. So 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times 2y is 4y. And 2 times -2 is -4. Now when I add these together, -6x plus 6x is 0. -5y plus 4y is -1y. And 2 plus -4 is -2. The opposite of multiplying y by -1 is to divide by -1 on both sides. And that gives us y is equal to +2. We take that solution and we plug it back into one of the original 2 equations. It doesn't matter if we do the top equation or the bottom equation. I think I'll stick with the top one there. 3x plus 2y, remember y is 2, so we can plug that in, is equal to -2. 2 times 2 is 4. The opposite of adding 4 is subtracting 4 from both sides. We get 3x is equal to -6. The opposite of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3 on both sides. We get x is equal to -2. So our final solution is -2, 2. Again, making sure that you're very careful. We know that we solved for y first, but these ordered pairs are always x, y. Okay, please try these 3 U-tries, and I will see you next class. Enjoy the rest of your evening.